We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how to get new customers in any business. I've been waiting to do this show for a long time.
I know you have.
And it all stemmed from us doing a show several years ago. We were the guest on somebody's podcast. And I was frequently asking that question. How do you actually get your customers for what you're doing? And I think he sold very specific, like Section 8 low-income apartment buildings. There was a very specific buyer for him. And he said, and he stopped and he made a big deal out of this. And it stuck with me, obviously. I go out and get every single customer and then I make sure I keep them. He said it just like that. And my first reaction was, oh, that's brilliant. Thanks, Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Right.
I started to think about it it really does apply.
It's true. That's what we do.
Yep.
And we're covering it.
That is exactly what we do.
Exactly. For land in houses, we can share that.
In part because of, that conversation with him. So before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the LandInvestorscom online community. It's free.
Sanju wrote, I have a buyer who's interested, who is asking the following. Confirmation of all the lat long corners and assurances list. This is hilarious. I saw this too.
Me too.
What's the best way to address this? Can I pull a lat long from Parcel Fact or something similar? But that isn't confirmation.
In quotes.
All right. Thanks in advance, Sanju. Well, here's my first thoughts. My first thoughts are, who is this guy?
That's my first thought. Well, my first statement is this guy's not a real buyer.
Yeah, it was my.
He's looking for reasons not to do it.
Exactly.
Instead of looking for reasons how to do it.
Exactly. So, but you can do that in NeighborScoop and Parcel Fact. You can go in and you can get the whole outline and all the points, the GPS. That would be what I would do. I would first pull that, and you can get KMZ. When you have NeighborScoop here, when this airs today, you can have.
I'm looking. Not make the announcement.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. As we're doing this show, today is the day that NeighborScoop's out there. You can, with one click, you can imagine this, everyone. Put in the state, put in the county, put in the APN. One click, you've got the whole outline. Then you push one button and watch the KML file create itself and then put itself into Google Earth. And now you're looking at the whole outline in Google Earth Pro. How great is that? And you could copy down the whole coordinates if you want them and send it. That's what I would do to this guy, just to be funny, because I could do it in just minutes, kind of thing. Here you go. And send him a list of 400 numbers because it's got all over the place on this property. Have fun with this one. So if you want to stand there and walk it with your phone or your GPS, you sure can. I highly encourage you to do that. I'll even buy some nice wood stakes with some red flags. Do you mind marking them out while you're out there? Just kidding. Yeah. But you could, or the real answer is too. That was about NeighborScoop and me getting a little, I just hate guys like this. They just kind of, like you said, they're just kind of poking you, kind of thing. It's just not nice. Gosh, I love this car, but boy, it's a little too red.
A little too bright.
Can you make it less red?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can you change the color?
God, then I do it. Mm-hmm. And then it's like,
just an excuse.
Exactly.
You're just wasting everybody's time.
Totally. But
assurances, by the way, this thing called an assurances list, in the million years that I've been doing this, I've never heard of that in my life. And so if someone in any part of your life, not real estate, says, I need an assurances list, like you're talking to a potential wife, I'd like an assurances list. Well, here's your assurances list. I can draw a picture of my middle finger up, and I'll sign it for you.
Exactly.
Anybody who asks you for assurances on something isn't taking responsibility for themselves.
Right.
They
shouldn't buy anything ever,
this
anywhere.
Kind of taps into our topic.
Yeah.
We all have to walk around on this planet taking responsibility for our own stuff. And if somebody crosses our field of vision, whether we're married to them or whether they're a potential buyer or seller of real estate, and they're not behaving the way they should, it's our job we don't sit there and blame that person for their behavior. It's
you
our
imagine?
job to deal with it and then either get the heck out of there or deal with it how you're going to deal with it. But you're going to walk around very disappointed in your life if you're trying to fill out somebody's assurances list.
I don't play those games. It's like, does this guy also walk into Best Buy and go up and plop the brand new Bose speaker down on the desk and go, I would like an assurance, that this is going to work 2 years from now and be just, and will you sign that? Like, no one's going to do that. They'll sell you a warranty. And then, so I said, great. Will the warranty guarantee that, and you guys will come and take care of it? No, it doesn't work like that.
That's the definition. That person's walking around very lonely and disappointed in every single thing that happens. And so is this buyer. From a technical standpoint, the longitude and latitude corner points in Parcel Fact and NeighborScoop are very, very accurate, I'm told. I haven't personally gone out with a GPS unit and looked at 5,000 units, but a lot of our members and a lot of our buyers have gone out there and said, wow, this is really accurate. What's not too accurate is, this is technical stuff, Joe, you can paint your nails or whatever. The overlay on Google Earth and the overlay on the Google Map on those sites I just mentioned, it's off sometimes because the satellites bleed into each other. So corner points are correct, but how it overlays like on a road or your neighboring parcel, sometimes, not all the time, it can be a little bit deceiving.
Thank you.
Today's topic, how to get new customers in any business. This is the meat of the show. One time I was sitting around with a former partner of mine and we're doing really well. We own 2 companies. They're both real estate driven and they're very successful. And I said, you know what, we should start a third. And he's turned to me and said, great. The next company that I start with you is going to have no customers and no employees. And we had a good laugh about that and I'll remember it forever. Because really I think all the issues in any company comes from having customers and it's keeping them satisfied and keeping your employees satisfied and motivated and having them do what you want. Anybody, I think at this point, it's real easy to buy cheap real estate and resell it. The problems come from, like Jill just mentioned, down the road, customers are unhappy or whatever. So we never found that perfect company.
Let me know if you do. I want in. Everybody listening's like, yeah, we all want that.
Exactly.
Take a number, buddy.
So anyway, anytime I hear about customers, I tell a story and I get a little chuckle. But anyway, we all need new customers, no matter who you are. If you're Coca-Cola and or Microsoft, everybody needs new customers.
Right.
And so how do you get them? Well, there's a lot of ways. The best way that's worked for Jill and I, and I'm not sure why, and it's like honestly, I don't think we've ever had this conversation. It's just very natural to us.
No, we haven't. Yeah.
Is to go the heck out there and get them.
Yeah.
And talk to them like they're a real person. Yesterday we were talking about real estate agents. Real estate agents don't talk to their customers like they're real people. I don't know why.
Right.
Most of them don't. If you are the example I used earlier today of the high-end dress shop, get a list of people who are logical, high-end dress shop buyers, women or whatever, and call them or send them a note, send them some kind of thing. Price probably doesn't matter to them. Go ahead.
I happen to be in that group.
Yes,
and
you
I
are.
gotta tell you.
Yeah, what do they want?
I get postcards. I get gift cards in the mail. I get handwritten thank you notes when I go in there because I drop some money, And so, how did they get me? They didn't find me. What was interesting, I was, I walked in right off the street, but they knew the value of keeping me and making me happy and staying in contact with me, and it's worked out great. I know when the sales are coming up. I don't always get there, but I know about them and they send me things. It's great.
So getting money off is obviously important to you. Maybe
it's actually not.
Maybe in that group it's personal service.
It's personal service.
It is more than money.
Money helps. I like it. If I'm not going to run in there for a sale. I kind of go in there when I need to go in there. But if there's new stuff, I like to know that. And the personal service, I like that.
So let's say you own a chili dog restaurant. A takeout chili dog restaurant. It's not a sit-down place or anything like that.
Pink's. You walk up to a window.
Pink's is a perfect example.
You own a Pink's.
A hot dog window.
Right.
So, okay, great, Steve. I own a hot dog. I make $1.50 on every hot dog. I don't have time. I can't afford to go out and get my own customers. And even if I did, I would make $1.50 every single customer that came in. You're dead wrong. That's exactly what you should be doing. You shouldn't hire a salesperson. You shouldn't be outsourcing any of that stuff. You should be using data and all the tools that you have to gather information about who's the logical hot dog buyer, and that not only just that one time, how you're going to keep them forever. So every Wednesday they buy hot dogs or chili dogs or whatever it is for their office. And that's what Pink's does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, if you haven't, if you're not familiar with Pink's, they're famous in Hollywood for serving hot dogs and chili dogs when movies are wrapped. So stars and producers and stuff. Well,
everybody goes there anyway. Like they're in the,
anyway.
We have one in the mall. There used to be one in the airport here at LAX, and then, but it's the celebrities. It's a thing that they love them and they order them by the bulk and have them catered.
Nobody can get new customers like you can, the owner. No one. And so I see this in manufacturing specifically, where people make that mistake. They hire salespeople. You know, a great salesperson is only going to work for you for a little while.
Right.
And then they're going to take all the customers with them.
You know, it's funny. We don't have salespeople.
Yeah.
People, I'll tell you right now, Land Academy and House Academy, I don't have a sales team. I did that. I tried that once and it backfired. It was not the way I wanted this to go. So we've never had a sales. Sure, we could be doing it bigger and better and whatever. I don't want that. I don't want 2,000 of the wrong people. I want 500 of the right people. This is a land show, and I have that. If you're a Land Academy member right now, you are in the 500 club. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And you are not sold, and you know that. You had to find us, and you had to dig, and you had to sign up. No one, blowed up your phone and said, "Are you joining yet? Are you joining yet?" That's not if you're interested, we'll let you know when things are happening. We have this special. This is coming up. Whatever. But we're not blowing up your phone. So I don't know where I was going with this, but I guess it's just how we communicate. But I'm sure it's different for different industries and for what people want, kind of thing. But with the point you just said about data, and that's the thing with NeighborScoop. That's not to sell NeighborScoop or really, but I'm just telling you about it. If you have whatever industry you're in, if you need to know name, address, phone number, anything about assessor data, it's available now. It's available today.
Great owners and salespeople don't sell you anything.
Right.
What they're doing is establishing communication and establishing trust. So let's say you own a used car dealer that really only feeds, and I'm making this up. I don't know what radius or what markets used car dealers feed, but it would make sense to me that it's probably within 5 miles at best, maybe 3 or 4, or let's just say it's 2 or 3 miles. It's very simple, very, very simple and fast and cheap and easy to get a list of all the people that live within 5 miles of your car dealership. And then to begin the process, not going to happen overnight, begin the process of establishing communication with them somehow, whether it's through direct mail, door hangers, there's all kinds of ways. Maybe it's signage.
No,
I'm not sure. But then you don't want to, once you get their attention, you don't want to say, hey, have I got a car for you? No, you want to start feeding them information about the community that you live in. Hey, did you know that we can't keep a minivan in stock? And I'm not sure why. Maybe you can tell me why.
Well, here's the whole point. All it is you're just trying to show that you are that good person. And then when you're thinking of buying a car, I hope you could think of me.
That's it.
That's really all you want to do. You're never going to say you need a new car. No. What if I don't? What if I don't want one? And that's my point, by the way. When I sell, I don't even look at what I'm trying to do. Like when someone calls in and they want to buy a property, I'm trying to quickly figure out if they really want to buy a property, A, and B, do I have the property they're looking for, B? If I don't have any of those two things, phone call over. If they're just calling to, shoot the breeze and say, what else you got for sale? Oh, Montana and everything. Well, do you have anything on the East Coast? Oh, I never thought about Georgia, right? So they're not a good buyer. So then I would go, they're not a real buyer, get them off the phone for those reasons. And then the other thing is when they're calling in and they're asking about this exact property and they've got an RV or they've got a mobile home and there's absolutely no way a mobile home is going to be allowed, the last thing I'm going to do is tell them, yeah, we'll figure it out. No, I don't. I'm going to be really upfront and honest and say, I don't have what you need. Give me a couple months or give me a couple weeks or, I might have something. Hang with me. If they're really that serious, I might try to, come up with it, and even within our group or something. But I never want to sell someone that just to sell something when it's not what they need.
If your next door neighbor came over, I don't care if you live in an apartment or a house or where you live, but if somebody in your immediate area where you live came over, knocked on the door, or reached you somehow and said some version of this, you would respond very positively. Hey, Steve, I don't want to inconvenience you, but I got to tell you, we're thinking about selling our house, and we don't want to go through all the stuff with the real estate agents and the hoopla. And I think it's actually priced pretty low. And we talked one time about a year ago about you being in the real estate business or interested in property around here. I just wanted to let you know, if you want to buy the house, we're thinking about selling it for X, which I think is, Y below market value. And maybe we can do a fast deal. Yeah, there's no pressure here. I'm going to let the other people in your neighborhood know. I want you to know first. Mm-hmm. Every single person is going to drop what they're doing. And look at that. Mm-hmm. If you own 6 skyscrapers in Manhattan and somebody reaches you, whether it's a broker or an owner, and says it's the exact same thing, you're going to stop what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I built a career in commercial real estate with long-term care, approaching this. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with landowners. It's the same thing with people who need to eat dinner that night if you own a restaurant. It's the same type of sales thing. And if you do it over and over and have this realistic, personal approach, you're going to do great.
Mm-hmm. Ding, ding.
Then they forget about you for a while, and then you reach them again and say, the price just dropped, or it's Wednesday night is a blue plate special or whatever.
You used to always love it.
Buy one, get one.
Yeah.
Jill and I religiously go to this hamburger place in our little beach area because it's buy one, get one.
Yeah, on Wednesday nights. We all know what Wednesday night is.
And then we end up tipping
and
like
it doesn't
kooks.
matter because we spend 40 times that, with our
like
friends
and alcohol and all whole thing.
Getting a beer or whatever.
And I appreciate the sentiment.
It's
everybody's happy.
It's fun.
I'm happy. Good. The restaurant owner's happy, and we always turn new people onto it. And I don't know, it's just all positive.
And I'm happy you could join us today. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're right here on the Land Academy Show. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we are on the House Academy Show.
Next week on the Land Academy Show, join us for another interesting episode. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
That was good.
I had that show in my soul for a long time.
I know. That was good.
Getting customers. I'm not a salesperson.
We don't talk about it because we know how to do it. It's second nature for us.
Yeah, that's it.
And we're not shy or timid and afraid just to go out and say, hey, are you interested? If not, that's fine. I'm just letting you know. Okay, I'll move on to the next guy. And if you have that attitude, you did the right thing and they'll remember you.
Yeah.
The Land Academy Show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.